These are Senate members of the university. It is we have the Vice Chancellor, who is the chairman of this occasion. The university anthem, please. The university anthem, please. National anthem, please. National anthem, sorry.
It is my pleasure and honor to invite the Vice Chancellor to give his opening remark. The Vice Chancellor, sir. Round of applause for the Vice Chancellor. Professor Enso Oyewole, Dean of Organic Studies, Professor FAYEYE, Dean College of Social Sciences, Social and Management Sciences, Professor Odekunle, Dean College of Law, Professor Eo Hassan, Dean College of Basic Health Sciences, Dr. Eo Daniels, Acting Dean, College of Natural and Applied Sciences, Dr. H.A. Odekunle, Acting Dean, College of Engineering and Technology, Dr. Taiwo Adinego, Acting Dean, Student Affairs. Distinguished colleagues are present, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for an important purpose, and that is the inaugural lecture we presented and delivered by no other person than Professor Joseph Odekunle FAYEYE. I, on this note, hereby invite Professor FAYEYE to give his statement.
Vice Chancellor, sir, the Registrar, the University Professor, the University Librarian, Deans of Colleges, Professor Emeritus of University, Professors and members of Students at University, Directors, all academic staff, all administrative staff, all staff of College of Social and Management Sciences, invited guests, gentlemen of the print and electronic media, great achievers, students, ladies and gentlemen. Unto the Lord God, eternal, everlasting, with honor and glory and adoration for making this day a reality in my life. I am grateful to Him for lifting me out of the pit of incited academic oblivion to an esteemed career of professorship in Achilles University, Nigeria. Many individuals and groups have labored in ways and means through prayers and wise counsel, in seasons and out of season, to witness the fulfillment of this vision divinely ordained in time. It is real. It is done. To God be the glory. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, at this juncture, permit me to honor the memory of my late parents who have joined the same triumphal before this day. FAYEYE, my father, indeed, who labored and saw me through my secondary education against all odds, but died while I was writing my final year examination in 1979 in the University of Ibadan. Mrs. Comfort, Marjorie College, the trusted motherly hands and the junior sister to my father, that managed my fledgling development from early primary to secondary school years, but died before I was employed as clerical officer in Kwara State in 1973. My mother, Mrs. Abigail Inaugural, the biological mother who also transited to glory at the eve of her appointment as president. Their memories remain very sweet. A brief review of Inaugural's Achilles University shows that today's lecture, titled Western Deficits, the Achilles Heel, and the Cobra Effects in Nigerian National Security, is the third in Achilles University and the second in the College of Social and Management Sciences, Cosmas. The first inaugural lecture from Cosmas was delivered on Thursday, August 3, 2017, by Professor Joseph E. of the Department of Political Science and International Relations. The inaugural lecturer is the first in any discipline. This inaugural lecturer is the first in any fully accredited Department of Sociology, Technology, and Security Studies of Achilles University, or to God be the glory. And likewise, after the completion of my West African certificate in 1973, I was employed as a clerical officer in Kwara State Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Ilorin. By 1974, to good their salary increment, I enrolled through exam success correspondence and obtained an advanced level certificate from FAYEYE. As an external student, I got that qualification. By 1977-78 academic session, I gained admission to the University of Ibadan to study sociology. The study without payment of salary made my undergraduate study dependent on friends for survival of 1978-79 when I was granted the Cobra State Scholarship. On successful completion of my PhD on degree in sociology, I reported back to the Ministry of Agriculture where I struggled to convert to administrative data to no avail. Teaching was my last option that was offered. As education officer too, I taught at Queen Elizabeth Secondary School in Lorraine for a period of 7 years. Within this period, I had to accept another study without payment of salary to obtain a master's degree in sociology. By February 1989, I was employed as assistant lecturer in the Department of Sociology and Social Administration, University of Ilorin. Through this employment and self-development, I obtained a master's degree in social work and also PhD in 2002 from the University of Ibadan as a self-sponsored. Crossing over to the leadership was subject to vendettas came in the University of Ilorin, but today I give glory to God that body was saved. Achilles University Award became a platform of redemption that ended the 5 years stagnation through my appointment as Professor of Sociology, Technology and Security Studies in 2018. The appointment was the realization of the divinely ordained and fulfillment of the scripture that says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. My soul, spirit, and body thereby magnify the name of the Lord. My PhD thesis titled Effectiveness of Nigerian Prison Service for Correction and Improved Welfare of Inmates, and also my MSc dissertation titled Parent-Child Relationship and Juvenile Delinquency, a survey of juvenile socialization in Ilorin, Kwara State, showed the symphony of my passionate research interest and inaugural in the field of welfare, criminology, and security studies. Conceptual clarification. Welfare as a concept. There is a great challenge about the universal definition of welfare. It is a relative concept. It is widely seen as a non-profit motivated service that is aimed at satisfying basic needs of the less privileged provided by individuals, groups, or governments. Welfare is social, where the services are articulated for groups and community interests for the sole purpose of improving the living conditions of citizenry. Social welfare is said to include programs whose explicit purpose is to protect adults and children from deprivation and insecurity of ignorance, illness, disability, unemployment, and poverty. It is a deliberate set of government intervention in time and in form of policy expressed through programs of action targeted towards addressing social problems in society. The concern for social well-being of the nation's citizens is one of the policy priority areas of any responsible government across the globe worldwide. Conceptualizing welfare deficits. This is more of a symptom than a cause of factor. It is an analysis of welfare outcomes in terms of development, poverty, economy, social welfare, inequality, exclusion of the indigenous population. It is particularly a manifestation of structural shortcomings in the country's distributional system, logically resulting in exclusionary development strategies that fail to correct asymmetric power hierarchies, unequal distribution of resources, and minimal role of the state in human security. The structural reproduction of poverty, inequalities, exclusion, and inadequate social welfare are logically the result of elites' systematic insistence on such reproduction of and retainance of their own power structure. In a welfare deficit nation like Nigeria, for economy, a more equal distribution of wealth, a stronger safety net, government involvement in social welfare, and policies that will increase the access of the deprived group to society's group are more political rhetorics. They are mere slogans in Nigeria. The enforcement of lofty 1999 constitutional provisions of the Federal Republic of Nigeria listed below eventually generated what we are calling this lecture welfare deficit. Section 14, subsection 1 says, the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be a state based on the principle of democracy and social justice. Section 14, subsection 2 says that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Section 16, subsection 1 states that the state shall, within the context of the ideals and objectives for which provision are made in this Constitution, harness the resources of the nation and promote national prosperity, efficiency, and self-reliant economy. Control the national economy in such a manner to secure maximum welfare, freedom, happiness of every citizen on the basis of social justice and equality of status and opportunity. Section 16, Section 16, subsection 2, the state shall direct its policy towards ensuring the promotion of the planned and balanced economic development, that the material resources of the nation are harnessed and distributed as best as possible to serve the common good, that the economic system is not operated in such a manner as to permit the concentration of wealth or means of production and exchange in the hand of few individuals or groups, and that the suitable and adequate food, reasonable national minimum wage, old age care, and pensions, unemployment, sick benefit, and welfare of the people are provided for all citizens. These are constitutional goods. Achilles is a concept that we come across in this lecture. The phrase Achilles has its origin in the legend of the Greek hero Achilles. According to narration, Achilles was dipped into river's side by his mother, Theseus, to make him invulnerable. The only portion of his body not immersed in that river was his heel, by which he held a immersed son. As a result, the heels were the only vulnerable part of his body. Achilles was later killed by an arrow that struck one of his heels. Achilles is therefore synonym or synonymous to vulnerable spots or weakness. It is a small fault in the perfect person or a system that can result in failure. It represents a small but fatal weakness. Biologically and literally, Achilles is the tendon at the back of the ankle of any person. The Cobra effect. This is an anecdote. According to me, well adult, a famous anecdote that describes a scheme that the British colonial implemented in India attempted to control the population of venomous cobra that were plaguing the population in the region, that offered a bounty, that is a good sum of money to be paid for every dead cobra brought to administration officials. The policy initiated appeared successful because snake catchers continue to claim their benefits, and fewer cobras were being seen in the city. However, instead of running after and catching these cobras, there was a steady increase in the number of dead cobras being presented for money or for payment. Nobody knows why. It is noted that we live in a highly connected world where management actions have multiple outcomes. When an action is taken, the intended outcome might occur, but a number of unexpected and unintended outcomes can also occur. Realizing that the Cobra bounty or money paid converted the snake into veritable or very useful community, entrepreneurial citizens started to breed cobras. Under the new policy, Cobra provided rather stable source of income to opportunities. In addition, it was much easier to raise Cobra than to hunt after them and kill them. So the snake catchers increasingly abandoned the search to fight Cobra and concentrated on their breeding program for cobras. In time, government became policy by the difference between the number of cobras seen around the city and the number of dead cobras being redeemed for money. Government discovered that cobra breeding sites are abandoned. As a final act, the breeder now stopped with a group of worthless cobras, simply released those cobras into the sea, making them even worse than before. Because there were more cobras now, the one being bred and the one that was naturally good. They now make the city very difficult. While an unexpected outcome is beneficial, what is more likely is that the expected outcome may become unwanted. This outcome can be thought as counter-intuitive policy surprises. The lesson from the Cobra effect is that simplistic policy can come back to bite citizens. When the politicians proclaim a simple fix to a complex problem, it is time to check for the feedback Cobra hiding in the bushes of our country. What is Nigeria? Nigeria in perspective. Nigeria accounts for about half of the West African population, about 202 million people. It is Africa's largest completed oil explorer, largest natural gas reserve in the continent. Nigeria has made progress in social economic terms in recent years. Its human capital development remains weak due to underinvestment, and our continent is ranked 152 out of 157 countries by the World Bank. Furthermore, Nigeria continues to face massive development challenges. While there is a need to reduce the dependency on oil and diversify the economy, we now witness insufficient infrastructure and we cannot build strong and effective institutions. The north and south divide, the northern side of Nigeria, the southern side of Nigeria, the divide started to grow wider because of Boko Haram insurgency and lack of economic development in the northern part of Nigeria. Large pockets of Nigerian populace still live in poverty without adequate access to basic services. The lack of job opportunity is the cause of the high poverty levels and unrest in Nigeria. Despite expansion in some sectors, employment creation remains weak and insufficient to absorb fast-growing labor force resulting in unemployment. What do we mean by national security or security? This is also a multidimensional concept. It is a natural capacity to control those domestic and foreign conditions that the public opinion of the community believes to be necessary to enjoy its own self-determination, autonomy, prosperity, and welfare. It is concerned about government institutions that seek to ensure the physical protection and safety of citizens, equal access to law, protection from abuse. It also refers to the absence of threats to core values and preservation of public order. National security is to be free, safe, where it stands for guaranteed life, but by political dispensation. National security on the other hand, look forward to the defense that we make war a thing of the past. It is the preservation, protection, and guarantee of the safety of life and property, whether of injury, among others. In the same vein, please permit me to respect the protocol by switching up to another brand of face mask without having an Achilles in this one. A more realistic, a more articulate and current perspective of notion of human security is that there is safety from chronic threats such as hunger, disease, depression, among others. A more articulate and current one is that we should all be free from fear and we should have sustainable development and peace. Insecurity, on the other hand, is fear and tendency to undermine collective cohesion, corporate existence, and the core value that holds us together. Threat to internal security in Nigeria include religious and political intolerance, mismanagement of resources, which is called corruption, subversion and sabotage, espionage, smuggling, alien influx, armed robbery, mutiny, coup d'etat, civil unrest, revolutionary insurgency, among others. What is the problem? The World Poverty Clock revealed that 91 million people in Nigeria now live in extreme poverty. They are living in extreme poverty because they earn lesser than $1.9 or 693 naira per day. It is reported that 46.5% of the Nigerian population are extremely poor. This means that half of the population of Nigeria live lesser than $360 a day. In June 2018, the World Poverty Clock has named Nigeria as the poverty capital of the world. Poverty capital of the world. Its headquarters in Africa. The latest number indicates that 4 million Nigerians have joined poverty club, occasioned by factors such as unemployment, insecurity, among others. Multi-dimensional poverty index of Nigeria is a function of social exclusion tied closely to the notion of discrimination, consequent upon group monopoly formation, where certain groups exclude others. Much debate on poverty in Nigeria tied to wider concept of relative deprivation, ill-being rather than welfare, vulnerability rather than sustainability, adaptability rather than diversity. The social cohesion, social gluing together of the people, represent an obvious systemic and governance snag or deficit in the provision of social welfare and security, which is the common good. Public danger and insecurity are actually here, a potent witness of the security in Nigerian state. The corporate effects of the foregoing are properly captured that the inability of government to deliver public services, to provide basic needs to masses, created a pool of frustrated people who are easily ignited by intent to become violent. The Nigerian nation has the wherewithal to cater for her citizens, but corruption of the public officers made this impossible. Listen to what Hassan and Omar said. Nigeria is a paradox of plenty. A very rich country with very poor people. With this kind of situation, insecurity of life and property is bound to arise. Incorporating welfare and public insecurity. The relationship between welfare categories and indicators to show us that where there is welfare and where there is proper delivery of welfare, there will be limited insecurity. This is shown in the table that we see below. The indicators are educational, large, food insecurity, social security, access to health, basic services in home, quality of life. All these are material welfare. Income is economic welfare. Satisfaction in life and happiness are subjective welfare. Network membership, trust in people are social welfare. Perception of insecurity, victims of crime, and homicide are public insecurity. How then do we bring privation and vulnerability together in the light of human security? Human insecurity describes the relative presence or absence of contingencies that threaten physical and psychological harm, affecting human dignity, livelihood, among others. The diagram that you see below presented to us 3 indicators that measure vulnerability of people in Nigeria. Threats, manifesting in imminent threats, suddenness of threat, and severity of threat. Vulnerability, manifesting in exposure, sensitivity of such vulnerability, and resilience of the citizen. The last is the deprivation and exclusion, which materialize in terms of material deprivation, horizontal and vertical capability, deprivation, exclusion in political and economic sphere. In this country, rather than integration, citizens have been excluded, and a group of corporate leaders are gathering together to meet different rights by creating problems and feeding parts from such problems and making the policy together. I'm looking straight now into the issue of Cobra effects in political construction of Nigeria. We'll be talking about Cobra effects, and I'm sure many of us know what Cobra is like. This theoretical exposition examines the political actors in the development of insecurity in Nigeria as Cobra effect. It has been touted that in Nigeria, it is believed that the worst democracy is better than the best military regime. That is the orientation. Unfortunately, the electorate were grasses between the 2 contesting groups, the military on one hand and the civilian on the other hand. And the desperate politicians use several methods to cajole us by saying that education, health, housing, rural transportation, clean and safe water, maternal and child health, all these welfare things, they count them during political campaign. To the extent that every electorate is expecting that the political manifestos one day will manifest in their welfare. Unfortunately, we only hear words. When they want to come in, they are our servants. When they come in, they become our masters. And we cannot ask them, whoever they are, whatever good they become, to deliver essential goods to their people. Rather than for them to accept their blame, they always participate in doing 8 things quickly. First, they embark on agenda limitation. Rather than to embark on development on large scale and achieve something, they will undertake a very small thing so that they will not be blamed. They define the issue by starting the controversial statement. We are better than the past regime. It is, we are on top of it. The enemy is at work. Let us pray more, all those stuff. They throw good money after bad policies. They pass the buck and say, well, it's not my regime, it's the past regime that caused this promotion, and we are trying to manage it. They find scapegoats and say, well, it's the citizen who don't pay tax, or it's the past government that drained the treasury, and we are just building it up. They jump on the bandwagon that, well, this thing had existed since 1999 when we started democracy. We are just coming on, and we are trying our best. They create a cycling of the wagon. They are using blame and say, well, if you blame us, blame those who passed before us, and those who are coming to take over from us who are not prepared. They also embark on stop me before I kill again, all those stuff. Now, a central issue in Achilles and Cobra effect in Nigeria is corruption, and that is starting. It's a common denominator. Mathematicians agree that something that is a common denominator is a divisor of many other factors that are standing by. We can see that in Nigeria there are corruption, and this is what is said by a particular group. This is what it said. Corruption affects public finances, business investment, as well as standard of living. Recent corruption scandals have highlighted a large sum of money that have been stolen and misappropriated. They added, little has been done to explore a dynamic effect of corruption that affects the long-run capacity of the country to achieve its potential. We have realized that corruption lowers government effectiveness, it creates weak investment, it lowers human capital development, among others. However, this dangerous phenomenon cut across all sectors and subsectors of the economy. For example, the political sector in Nigeria is corrupt, and there is no gainsaying about that. The sector has witnessed a lot of stealing across party structures. And in Nigeria, electoral corruption is not merely a means to an end, it's a profitable endeavor. If you are smarter, then you win the election. Every party wins. It's the best leader that wins in most cases. Corruption. Legislative corruption. This extends beyond demand for kickbacks from ministry and agencies. They also do a lot of padding, and they do a lot of consultation to take money from nominees for appointment. Economic sector corruption. At our economic level, we know that there is corruption because 75% of the total government receipts and well over 90% of the exports earned in Nigeria are stolen. And the impact on agriculture through corruption. Welcome, sir. Please permit me to recognize the entry of the missioner and missioner of Achilles University, who made it possible for me to deliver this lecture. You are welcome, sir. The defense sector is worse with corruption. You will remember the story of the Chibok girls who were kidnapped. Money were voted in billions, and money were shared across party structures. And where is defense? When the money that is put on ground to pursue the insurgents were being shared, that people could not even hold guns or catapults. We have judicial corruption. Judgments are written in different lines based on death terms, and we have problems in this area. In Nigeria, some judges have been booked and have been brought to book via corruption. Anti-corruption, corruption. When they said of EFCC, ICPC, and other anti-corruption bodies, we come to realize that even the key drivers in these industries are also corrupt. Many of them have been proved and so on and so forth. So we have corruption of the anti-corruption agencies. But the social sector is also worse. The educational corruption is there. We have problems with the examination malpractice, admission scandals, and other things like that are found within the educational sector. Health sector corruption. In health, where we should be caring for the welfare of the people more, there are corruption, and we can see that health-related corruption made headline in Nigeria after the health minister sacked the head of National Insurance Scheme following the internal investigation that discovered that he misused 919 million naira in training funds and still constructing work so his brother spent among other malpractices. This is just one example. Humanitarian sector corruption. Humanitarian, where we should be caring for those who are displaced, those who are chased out by Boko Haram. People who are taking care of them are stealing the money that they should use to take care of them. That is other words. NEMA, SEMA, IDP camps, lot of money was stolen. There was a director who awarded $128,000 contract for a temporary shelter. How much are we need to build the permanent ones? Having seen this, we can realize that the Cobra effect, which is people making fortune out of the problem of the nation, and actually ill, which is a snag and a weakness that make a mockery of a perfect system, are played out in Nigeria. And as long as this continues, as long as we don't address this, as long as people are making profit of the woes of the nation, as long as corruption becomes the language of the people, we cannot move forward. There will be insecurity and there will be problems. My contribution to knowledge in social welfare and national security, cannot go through all of them, but I just mentioned a few. My commitment to social welfare particularly and security instigated my choice of research and looked at the impact of underemployment in the city with Ibadan as a case study in 1980. We looked at the hawkers. So I have interest in the welfare of the market women and so on. Then the need to correct the juveniles that standing apprehension in the juvenile court had also triggered my interest by looking into relationship between parents and children when they engage the law. I have interrogated the effectiveness of the criminal justice system in managing the offender. We realize that the prison of the correctional system, until recently when it became a correctional system, was the school of crime, where people were sent to prison also learn how to commit more crimes, and where first-time offenders become hardened criminals, and jail beds are developed from those areas. Beyond this, there are other areas we will see them in that. Now, this is my conclusion. Although Nigeria was the creation of European ambition and rivalry, its people had their own notable history prior to the arrival of the British. The British amalgamated multiplicity of ethnic groups and terrorists with diversities of culture, different stages of development into one nation. Upon independence, Nigerian state is a confluence of nationalities made up of people associating involuntarily in the pursuit of a common interest. Governments lack the essential ingredients of legitimacy, as certain nationalities have not consented to the association. They have never been due. We've never had any Ibrahim becoming the president of this country. They are a nationality. Well, I won't mention tribes again, but those things within your mind. Then, Nigeria is being ruled with elements within three most populous nationalities: Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani. These three nationalities manifesting unbridled states of libido dominandi, that is, the quest for power, the desire to dominate, and the lust to govern. The quest for power, the desire to dominate, and the lust for governance. The position of this discourse is buttressed by Odekunle that security in Nigeria is often threatened by unjust political, social, and economic structure. The fragmentation process of social group, economic system, political structure threatening human security at every step. Emphasis has been made so far to show that corruption is dangerous to the systemic existence of Nigeria and the security architecture. Corruption has been a major problem which directs resources away from development, eradication of poverty and social welfare. There is therefore the need to strengthen the Achilles and reduce Cobra effects and promote social welfare of Nigerian national security. My recommendation and policy options, many that I just mentioned, 3, government to prioritize and invest more in education and reflect international best practices. Government at all levels, federal, state, and local, to prioritize good governance of accountability, transparency, equitable distribution of resources, poverty eradication, and effective management of insecurity. Nigerian citizens, through free and fair election, should produce transformational leadership in Nigeria with capacity to articulate national challenge to welfare deficits. There is a need for international multilateral relations with the Francophone nations, such as Cameroon, Chad, Niger, Benin, being our border, having border with Nigeria, to cooperate with Nigeria by expelling insurgents and terrorists hibernating in their national territory. Unfortunately, Nigeria is surrounded by Francophone nations, and we are Anglophone nations. So these insurgents always find their hiding place in Chad, in Cameroon, and Benin, among others. There is a need for us to enter into relation with them to discuss this. The national orientation to organize extensive national debate to identify security issues that are developing in our society so that we can manage them adequately. Government should formulate and implement policy and programs to address the root cause of insecurity in Nigeria. Civil society organization in Nigeria to advance the process of security management through constructive criticism and being the catalyst of advocacy of public interest. Religious organizations to promote national security through reorientation, tolerance, and joint problem solving. Communities and nationalities in Nigeria should live together in peace, be vigilant of strangers, so that miscreants with criminal intent will not hijack their localities, among others. This is an inaugural lecture. You need to improve your vocabulary. Please say after me. We are on top of the matter. The opposition party is in charge. We pay more tax overseas than in Nigeria. We need to pray more. We are on top of the matter. See you in the next class.
Another round of applause for the. We have spent 44 minutes to deliver the inaugural speech. It is my pleasure to invite the Vice Chancellor for the recognition of dignitaries. The Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to recognize the arrival of the Pro-Chancellor of this university, the Visionary, and the man who has made it possible for this gathering to take place. He came in the middle of when the lecture was going on, and I think we need to recognize him very specially. Congratulations for your welcome. Welcome, sir. We have been thrilled to a very beautiful lecture, the inaugural lecture of Professor Joseph Odekunle FAYEYE. You will agree with me that it's a lecture packed full of information, direction, and even new ideas. And he skillfully turned it into a lecture hall. And I think I'm one of those that will leave this place with new vocabulary. So, we cannot at this point but recognize the colored people who have been here since the beginning of this program. I would like to start by recognizing and appreciating the family of Professor FAYEYE. They are present in this hall. Please, can we give them more applause, please? Thank you. We have sacrificed so much and supported Professor FAYEYE in all respects, and make sure that this lecture was delivered aptly and appropriately. We are very grateful to you. We also recognize the presence of Dr. and Mrs. Ojo from Ilorin. I think he is the proprietor of Ojo Tayo Hospital in Ilorin. You are welcome. We equally recognize the presence of J.K. Odeyemi. We equally recognize his pastor, Mrs. Ebe Anyantola. You're welcome. We equally recognize Pastor Buyiwa Alabi. And we recognize friends and colleagues of Professor Joseph FAYEYE from Ilorin. And we recognize friends, colleagues of Professor Joseph FAYEYE from the College of Social and Management Sciences, Achilles University. And last but not the least, I recommend management for supporting Professor FAYEYE in this beautiful edition. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been this public lecture, the third in the series from Achilles University, and I assure you that more will come. Achilles University has come to stay, and we are here to disseminate knowledge, and we shall continue to impact this as much as we can. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, the Vice Chancellor, sir. It is my pleasure to invite the Pro-Chancellor, Honorable Dr. Odekunle, to give the closing remark. The Pro-Chancellor, sir. The Vice Chancellor of this university, members of management and senate, distinguished invitees, the university community, were on top of the matter. May I crave your indulgence to be on the matter of your personal security. I came late to this lecture because I was a guest at a radio station discussing security and welfare of Nigerians, and I have to rush back from Akure. Otherwise, there's no reason why I have to be late. I said it has come to a stage when communities, families, schools will take the issue of security as priority, so that gone are those days when we depend on the government for security of lives and properties. We pray that the time will come, perhaps in another 3 years or 2 years, when we can sleep with our two eyes closed. I have listened to the concluding part of this lecture, but I heard my voice. Be your brother's keeper, but be in charge of your security. We have been reading it in the Constitution that the main purpose and the only purpose for which governments are in place is for the security and welfare of the people. Where is the security? Where is the welfare? It's now in our hands. Perhaps we have no need for governments in our society any longer. Until we get to that stage when we can sleep with our two eyes closed, we shall be on the top of the matter. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the Pro-Chancellor, sir. Please, students, to know that attendance is going on. So if you have not written your name, please endeavor to do that. We want to thank everybody for coming. So the program is being brought to a close now, while we stand up for the university anthem. National anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked to inform you that the reception will be at the Professor FAYEYE's house, while that of the staff will get to them in their offices.